people ask me, would I take a 1x4 scale Kill La Kill Barney figure for 36k, or would I get a 1x7 like this for 36k? I could give you the answer within 1 second, and it would be this Melusine figure. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 16th to 21st of June 2025. Before I proceed, two things first. Firstly, it was about Smilefest 2025, which I published my video a few days ago. I made a big mistake of skipping pop-up parades by accident, of course, because despite having been using this laptop for the past 2 months, I'm still not really used to Mac OS yet. And I find the font to be a bit small, and then I accidentally skipped a folder, which happened to be pop-up parade. I was trying to skip Nandoroids, not pop-up parades, yeah, and I skipped the wrong folder. Anyways, if you ask for my opinion, the main highlights for pop-up parades from that event, I think it would be Ravi and also the armor version of Albedo. Both are pop-up parade Ls. Those two are my personal highlights from that event. But surprisingly, there were not many pop-up parades. The standard ones, I mean. There were a lot of Ls, yeah. Secondly, today's video is only available in full HD. In fact, you might have not noticed it, but I have been uploading 2.5K video, or rather 1440p instead of 1080p for the past few months, slowly upgrading my video quality. But I made another big mistake earlier today because I was rushing. I have a very busy week this week. Tomorrow, my whole day is occupied. I'm recording this late on Friday. And what happened was that I left a big box of my memory cards at home, and now I have a spare card in my bag, but that is a very slow memory card. And because of that, I couldn't record in 4K. I could only record in full HD. But I guess 99% of you won't care because you don't even subscribe to YouTube Premium, and without subscribing to Premium, you won't get access to high quality Full HD, not to mention higher resolutions. So the next thing is that this week's figure news, right? We have a lot, we have an average number of genuine figures on pre-order, but as you can see, this is a long video because we have way too many third-party figures. Like, they were unhappy they were not invited to Smilefest because they are not licensed. So they had their own mini One Fest of some kind, and I was cursing the F word for the past few days because I couldn't keep up with my post on Facebook and my Discord server. Yeah, there are many posts on third-party figures that I have not yet posted in my figure news fix section. I couldn't keep up. No worries, because I will cover all of them hopefully in today's video. So without further ado, let's move on to Hobby Link Japan for genuine PVC figures from Japan. Starting off with the largest scale as usual, we have Alpha Max or Skytube 1x4 scale Angel Genmutan Jinlian Barney version, Tony Art, 33,000 yen, and this is cast of both top and bottom. Yay! So Jinlian, this character, I'm very familiar because Skytube did a 1x6 scale figure of her before, also castable. But if that is not big enough for you, or you missed out on that version, then this is worth looking into because this is giving you more value than what Freeing is offering nowadays. Yeah, castable. My only problem with Tony Art, I mentioned it many times already, it feels like the same character cosplaying multiple different characters. Every single character have the same face, but everything else, the hairstyle, the hair color, outfits are being changed out. So this could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on the personal preferences. It is subjective. Moving up next, we have 1x4 scale Yuki Mikan from True Love Through Darkness, 1x4 scale by Union Creative. Yeah, this has to be in collaboration with Freeing, I think. So 36,000 yen, January 2025 release. So with Yuki Mikan in this, Sukumizu, as we call it in Japanese. Alter had a 1x7 scale of her many years ago. That is the newer version actually. Their older Mikan figure was the one in casual outfit lying across the table on the floor like that. So the Sukumizu version is a bit hard to find actually. Maybe the value is high now. I did not bother to check. But the one lying on the floor, that one is quite easy to find. Yeah, like Mandarake or even Taobao can find it. So if you want your Emoto big enough, this is worth looking into. But if you ask for my opinion, what do I think about 36,000 yen for this? I will straight up and tell you it is overpriced. Yeah, because it is just a plain swimsuit. But freeing isn't going below 36k nowadays for 1x4 scale, as long it is a new sculpt, same thing for Union Creative. So this is a bit too plain, for sure. But for those of you Emoto lovers, you may want one. In fact, Yuki Mikan is like top 3, top 5. All-time favorite Emoto, like fan favorite, together with the likes of Kasugano Sora. Yeah. So moving up next, we have a 1x4 scale Satsuki Kyoyoin from Kill la Kill. This one we saw it in One Fest. I keep saying One Fest by habit. Smilefest. Almost a week ago. 1x4 scale, 36,000 yen. Kind of bland, I know, but well, fans of Kill la Kill, they are so starved of new figures that I would imagine they would swallow this thing. They would smash the pre-order button regardless. So yeah, pick one up if you are a big fan of this anime. So with Satsuki going on pre-order, of course we're going to get a re-release of Ryuko Matoi 30,000 yen because, you know, re-release, older sculpt, older molds, so it is cheaper. So this one is 30k 1x4 scale November release. This one is worth picking up once again if you are a fan of the series. For me, it is an easy skip. Okay, next one here. This is a quick mention. We have two 1x6 scale figures over here that has went on pre-order a week or two ago. So this is Karen Inokai. Yeah, My Life as Inokai-san's dog went on pre-order on AmiAmi like 2 weeks ago already. 26k by Hako Musume, October release. So maybe you have already pre-ordered this one if you wanted one. Because sure, AmiAmi's price was a bit higher, but at the same time they had a discount on this figure. So I think at AmiAmi it is around 25,000 yen plus. Yeah, slightly cheaper than this price over here. The next one here, which I have already covered more than a week ago, is this Linkage by Yuekui figure by PJ Studio. This is a PVC figure at 1x6, 21k, September release. September next year, by the way. So my comments back then, I think remain the same. It looks nice, but not something I would collect. Yeah. So moving on to the new stuff this week. Wow. So coming from Eclipse Feather. Yeah, should be the same company as Eclipse Collectibles, which makes safe for work stuff. This is 1x6 scale Kawakuma Setsuko no Himitsu Deluxe Edition. Obviously, this deluxe version, you get a world scroll for 21,500 yen, May release. If you want figure, only 19,500 yen. Very reasonable considering you're getting the entire prison itself. Or dog cage, depending on how you see it. To me, even though I like how unique this figure is, but you know, in the end, I have mixed feelings about it. Like, I don't hate the figure at all. I would love to have it, but just plain bikini, black bikini, surrounded by a cage with some chains. There are some unique points about this figure, but at the same time, I'm a bit disappointed that she is just wearing a black bikini. So I'm not sure what to think about it. I wished the figure is a lot more detailed, but at this price point, can't complain. And Eclipse Feather, if I'm not mistaken, yep, Chinese brand. That's why this thing is so cheap. And don't ask me how they're able to sell stuff like this. Maybe because their main customer base, obviously they're manufacturing for the overseas market, I think. Yeah. Moving up next, this one is one of the main highlights this week actually. 1x6 scale 2.5D Seduction Lustalote Phantom costume, which is Mayura. You know, it is so funny. I enjoyed this anime adaptation so much. First season was 24 episodes or so. This is the sensei of the main character in school. Yep, the sensei, the school teacher, the homeroom teacher, I mean. And then dude was trying to blackmail her because I know that you cosplay sexy stuff. You wouldn't want the principal or yeah, the school board to know about this. And then the main character blackmailed her into being the advisor of his cosplay photography club of some kind. Yeah. Of course, it has to be blackmail because she is hot AF. So we got so many figures of the main characters. What's the name again? Never mind, I won't bother trying to think about it. But scale figures of this sensei, I believe this is the first one. There were price figures of her, I think, but scale figures, I think this is the first one. Coming from Belfine, unfortunately, but this one looks very nice. Just that I know that the paint finish for Belfine's figures won't be as good as some of the more premium brands. But this price over here at 1/6 scale, with everything you're getting over here, I think it is very reasonable. So I am not going to knock Belfine for it. I think this is a really good figure. As long Belfine does not screw up the paint work or the QC in any regards, then this is worth picking up. Not like you have a choice anyway. This is the only skill of her at the moment, Mayura. February 2026 release. Moving up next, okay, this one was from Smilefest. 1/6 scale, there is also a hole in the student organization. You know, going by the character design of this figure, I think this has to be an edgy anime, and I'm all for it, absolutely. Can't wait for the anime to air. I believe it is July, yeah, next month. By Fat Company, 22,700 yen at 1/6. Alright, that is fair enough because you are also getting a second faceplate. Yeah, where her eyes finally open. You know, I know nothing about this character, but I used to say when I see an anime character having his or her eyes closed all the time, you know that that character is going to be strong AF when they finally open their eyes. An anime character stereotype. Now, I know nothing about this character, but I'm looking forward to the anime for sure. And as for this figure, I like it a lot because of the slice of life vibe given off by this figure. Like, this is very photogenic. Yeah, for someone like me as a figure photographer. As for whether I will pre-order, the answer is no, because if I want one, I'll get it after release. I mean, this is going to be a seasonal anime, and I'm not sure if the value of characters, right? Figures of characters from seasonal anime, I'm not sure if the value will hold. Maybe it will drop. So that would be very foolish of me to pay for her full price so early upfront. Yeah, no. Moving up next, 1/6 scale again, Aharen-san. Okay, Reina Aharen Yukata version, 1/6 scale by Zero G Act. 23,000 yen, December release this December. Okay, in case you've never heard of Zero G Act, well, not a common name among anime figures. They also make other types of toys like mecha stuff. Yeah, figures is not their main business, and yeah, I wasn't able to dig out much information about what the quality of the figures are like because very few people buy their figures, which translates into very few user pictures online, so it is hard to find any information. Yeah. And I don't trust the Japanese at all when it comes to evaluating the quality of an anime figure because those guys go out and make Griffin Enterprises be full figures, sell out, and go up in price. So with people like that being a majority, a big part of the Japanese collector market, I just couldn't trust anything they say or review. Yeah. Unfortunately, maybe there are a few websites or bloggers who, what do I know, right? There are a few websites or bloggers who make legit reviews, which I'm unaware of, but going by the general public, the average collector, I just don't trust their taste in what is considered a good figure or not. So back to this figure over here, I think Season 2 is almost finished at this point, and I did not even finish Season 1. Yeah. Maybe I will try to give it a go again. I found the anime a bit boring. Slice of life can be fun, but sometimes it can be boring as well, depending on how they narrate the story. So is this worth it? Well, there are not many Aharen-san scale figures, so the choice is up to you really. I don't have anything to say about this brand. Moving up next, 1/6 scale Gojo Majima Like a Dragon Yakuza again by Kotobukiya, 25,000 yen, December release. I mean, if you like it, just pick it up, right? Just pick one up because it is Kotobukiya. It is going to turn out good. And this is a 1/6. Not very common even from Kotobukiya. Up next, this is a quick mention as we move into the 1/7 scale territory. Brown Dash 2 Scheherazade. This one went on pre-order last Saturday on AmiAmi amidst the Brown Dash 2 second anniversary event, now available on HLJ. And one thing I forgot to mention is this deluxe version over here comes with this acrylic display case, which from the looks of it, it is like a spy dodging the laser beams, which will set off the alarms if you touch it. Am I right? Spy character over here, infiltrating a high security area. Now, you know what? I like it a lot. Like, I don't think there are any other scale figures with this kind of setup. And truth to be told, there are a lot of these kind of acrylic cases that are uniquely designed for very specific anime figures in Taobao. It is very common over there, right? Every character, they design a specific case for it. The problem is that I wanted to review those cases, maybe buy 2 or 3 of them, but they are very expensive. You're looking at 300 to 400 Chinese yuan each. I'll let you do the conversions. Yeah, it is not cheap. If you buy 2 of those acrylic cases, the total cost, you can buy 1 scale figure. They are not cheap at all. But in this case, this is not too expensive, like 4,000 yen, I believe, because figure only is 14,000 yen. Yeah, 4,800 yen, almost 5,000 yen for the acrylic case. So it is not cheap. This is one of the cheaper cases. I've seen those that cost even more. Having said that, this entire package for under 20,000 yen, I think it is worth it. I would go for the deluxe version, because if this is really a spy character of some sort, then this display over here, it adds context to the character. It lets an average person looking at the figure know that this is a spy character. I think it is a really cool thing. Yeah, so go for the deluxe one. Alright, moving up next, we have the main highlight this week. And oh boy, my wallet is screaming in pain. Yep. So coming from Fat Company, I'm surprised that this is not an AmiAmi exclusive. Surprised in a good way. We have Lancer Melusine from FGO, 36,000 yen July release. So this thing must be almost 40,000 yen in AmiAmi. Yeah, over 39k. So I had questions in my Discord server. People ask me, would I take a 1x4 Skill Kill Bunny figure for 36k, or would I get a 1x7 like this for 36k? I could give you the answer within 1 second, and it would be this Melusine figure. Not because I am a FGO fan. It has nothing to do with whether I like FGO or not. It is more like I prefer figures that are detailed over a really big one but has barely any details on it. Having said that, this thing takes up way too much space. I'm not sure if she will even fit in an average Detolf. That wingspan over there is huge. So maybe think twice and check your space before you pre-order this thing. I believe MFC, myfigurecollection.net, has the dimensions of the figure, both the height and the width as well. Check that. Yeah. So for me, as usual, I'm waiting for after release before buying it. Right? I did that to Fat Company's Hokusai, bargain bins in Taobao. Then I grabbed it. I waited a year for it to happen, but I'm a cheapskate. So if I have to wait a year to get my hands on this at a cheaper price, so be it. I will get one. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have Proof 1x7 Scale Rising of Shield Hero Season 2 Raftalia, 25,000 yen, November release. There were many bad reviews on Season 2 of this anime. Yeah, I think Season 2 was way inferior to Season 1. It felt a little bit rushed. But I still can't wait for more continuation, for more seasons of this anime. I still love it a lot. So with this figure over here, this is a nice Raftalia figure, but I'm not sure if her hopping off that energy shield, right, from the shield hero. I mean, it is a nice base. It is a unique base. Not going to complain about the base over there because it is better than any plain round disc, but I think this is a solid figure of her. Maybe top 5 best Raftalia figure. Top 5, not top 3 even. Because Kotobukiya snatched at least 2 spots on the top 3. Yeah, the oldest version, which is the Sword Hero version, I think. Was it Sword Hero? No, not Sword Hero. The one in Yukata outfit, that is the Sword Hero. The older version is in this same exact outfit. Both are amazing, right? So I don't think Proof is in third place right behind those two. So this is a solid top 5 as long the quality is good. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is November release. Before I forget, this November, very quick. Moving up next, we have another Nikke Alice figure. This time around, this is Wonderland Bunny version from Flare, 21,800 yen, May release. Yep, May next year. And Freeing is doing the same exact figure in 1/3 scale, right? We saw it in Smilefest. Will I get this one? High probability, the answer is no. I mean, I already have the standard uniform version with the rifle that is way more detailed. Why would I want this? And what is even more ridiculous is that the standard version, I mean the one that came out last year but will be re-released soon, that one is a way more detailed figure, has more parts but it costs the same amount as this bunny version. So this one, it feels like it is not that worth it. At the same time, I'm a bit afraid to tell you guys not to pre-order early because who knows what will happen after release, right? Nikke is red hot right now in terms of the popularity. That's the thing, I don't know how to predict. That Alice that I reviewed got a re-release exactly because she was popular. She was almost sold out. Yeah, but at least we know that Flare will not hesitate to re-release stuff that there is demand. So if you miss out on this, maybe you can count on them for another re-release. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here, a second Nikke figure here, Marciana School Days Deluxe Edition. So this deluxe version has a notebook ballpoint pen. Interesting. And an acrylic block. Okay. That is a lot of stuff for 23,000 yen. Nice, Hobby Sakura. Just that I want my Nikke girls with big guns. So I'm not sure if I will get this one. If she wins, then yes. If not, I will be happy to skip this one. Yeah. Standard version, 21,000 yen. So for that 2,000 yen, you're getting a lot of extra stuff. Yeah, the deluxe one is worth it. Moving up next, we have this original character, Su Yu from Wing Incorporated. 22,270 yen, April release next year. You'll see Wings Incorporated, right? This brand, I have reviewed only one figure from them, where there isn't much wrong with the figure. There isn't much wrong, but weirdly enough, that figure bargained bins really badly. It was a new, an Australian figure, not New Jersey. What was the name again? I can't remember. And then I had friends who told me that figure had QC issue with some copies where the table she's leaning against broke off. Some people received broken copies, but mine was fine. So I got lucky. But if we put aside broken parts with some copies, the paintwork and everything, the QC was fine. And then I have seen so many Wing Incorporated figures bargain bin in China at least. I think in Japan, not too different. Yeah, Mandarake and stuff, AmiAmi sale section. Sometimes you see Wing figures going for 40-50% off. And I don't know why, because whenever I get to check out the figure myself in person, it feels like there's nothing wrong with the figure. Like no major QC issues, no screw-ups, but somehow this kind of bins happen with figures from this company. Am I forecasting that this thing will bin? I don't know. Because original characters, things can go either way. They can go up or go down in value. Yeah. So I don't want to prematurely say that this thing will bin. I don't know. It is not like I know everything. However, I am a detail lover and I'm liking this quite a bit. Yeah. Just that, yeah. I mean, if this was a character from some famous game, they would have caught my attention immediately. But being an original character with no origin, then I'm more likely to skip it. That's the thing. Because those other big games, they are, yeah, my budget are all being tied down by those games already. Nikke, FGO, and so on. The next one here from Atelier Yumia. This is from Smilefest. 1/7 scale. Yumia Liz Felt swimsuit version by Wonderful Works. Almost 22,000 yen, April release. Well, that is not cheap, but at the same time, I would say reasonable, I suppose. That base over there, right? that is actually one of the nicer water effect bases I've seen. Like, not many figure companies could get it right. No, when you are lying on the surface of a beach and then the waves just come in gently. Very nice over there. Not the most realistic thing ever, but very nicely executed over there. Just that same complaint I had in Smilefest. Why are her existing figures all the bikini and swimsuits? Give us a proper scale of her in her alchemist uniform. As for wonderful works, the quality, I would rank them a solid B. Yeah, so they are actually not that good, not at Good Smiles level, not at Alto's level, not even close, but at the same time, their figures don't have major quality issues, like just okay, right? They get the job done, the paints are done right, the sculpting is done right, but otherwise nothing special about them, so they are perfectly average. Okay, moving up next. This is Kotori Shirakawa from DC Da Capo. Man, this is classic. This is old. From Kotobukiya, 21,000 yen, December release. This is by Key, right? Yeah, Key's animation, right? Like, recently we have this Summer Pockets thing. I overlooked that anime initially. I skipped it. And then I found out that it is by Key, so the one behind Angel Beats and so on. So I gave it a try. I got hooked on immediately. I finished the first arc, the first 4 episodes. I think the second arc is finished by now. I'm watching it arc by arc, so every 4 to 5 episodes in one batch. The total is 24 episodes, right? Each heroine has their own arc. That is the way they do things. And you know what? When I look at the scenery in this anime by Key, right? Those are the kind of places I want to visit in Japan, not just Tokyo or Shibuya or Akihabara. I want those scenic, rural places, but those places are really hard to visit because you need to drive there. You can't get there by train unless you really know what you are doing. And number 2, the people there speak zero English, making things very difficult. Yeah, but those are the kind of rural places I would love to visit compared to just big cities and otaku lands like Akihabara. Now, back to this figure over here. I think Kotobukiya is betting on nostalgia. I had quite a heavy dose of nostalgia when I watched Summer Pockets. It felt like anime I used to watch from 10 to 15 years ago. They are betting on nostalgia over here to sell this figure because 21,000 yen is pretty expensive even for a Koto figure. Maybe like the licensing cost, of course, but very expensive in my opinion. Okay, moving up next. This is nice, but 1/8 scale set. The Legend of Heroes Shizuna Ram Misugugi, Kotobukiya as well, 22,000 yen, December release. This is perhaps my favorite figure yet in this series, Legend of Heroes. Yeah, mostly due to the pose, obviously. I love pretty girls with swords or weapons or big guns. I got this comment in Facebook. Kotobukiyas are so expensive nowadays. 22,000 yen even for 1/8. Yeah. Can't escape inflation. At least you know the QC will be good, but can't escape inflation. Pick one up if you're collecting this set. It doesn't make sense to skip her. This is one of the prettier characters in the entire lineup. Okay, moving up next, we have 2 male characters over here which does not have a scale from Union Creative. Mob Psycho 100. Okay, this is Arataka Reigen, which looks very low detail. This feels like looking at a prize figure. Yeah, can't say I recommend it. And the next one here, yeah, the main character Shigeo Kageyama and Dimple, 18K April release. Feels like looking at a Furio noodle stopper or something, except they get a chair over here. Yeah, that's the thing. This looks terrible, man. I know that the anime character designs are like this, like they are not very detailed, they are simple, but sure, if you replicate a simple anime character faithfully in a figure, then price it accordingly. So 18K for this is pretty expensive unless we are getting a surprise 1/6 scale or something. Yeah. Do we have a dimension here? 13 cm. There we go. This is way too small to cost 18K. Okay, moving up next, the last 3 figures are low budget figures. The first one, Tiny Tall Tall. Furio is following Good Smile's business model. Good Smile is pushing out pop-up rate L a lot more recently, and I'm seeing the same pattern with Furio. They are going for a lot of Tenitol Tall a lot. Mahiro Shina again, not enough figures of her. Autumn version from the Angel Next Door spoils me rotten, 10,000 yen February release. Like, this is cute for sure. This is adorable. And 10k is worthwhile. It is worth it as long as you like the character or the anime. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have this thing. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Is this Excalibur? It looks like one to me. A knight. Line Pie series reverse 1999 from Apex Toys for the 800 yen. Normally, I skip anything that is not a female character or not a skill figure, but this is Apex Line Pie series, their low budget skill figure series, so I need to cover it. This is Excalibur, man. I have no idea what this thing is. Is it like a sword that can speak, can talk? A sword that is alive from reverse 1999? Let me know down in the comments below if you play the game. And the last figure on HLJ here, Witch Watch figure Sid Nikke from Sunrise Pop. 5,000 yen, October release. This feels like an Android but fixed pose. Yeah. Nothing much here. This is a CGI render, man. Yeah, where is the actual figure? This looks like a CGI render to me. Up next, our next stop would be AmiAmi. Okay, before I proceed, if you are finding this video to be enjoyable or informative, please do consider subscribing to this channel. It is just a click away and it does not cost you anything. So that is how you help out this channel and help it grow. Yeah. So getting back to this figure over here, this is an AmiAmi exclusive. And you know what? I thought that this figure was already out, but apparently my memory was wrong. Because there are other figures of her, right? Maybe by Amakuni, for example. Yeah. This is Fine Belly Dance version, Bomber Girl. 28,000 yen by Wing, 1/6 skill. Wow, that is expensive, but yeah. It looks like a good figure. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes their figures been, but there is nothing wrong with the figures, man. So if you say, should I pre-order it? Can I trust Wing? The trust part, I would say yes. Yeah. Just that this is quite expensive at 28k. February release. Okay, the next one here, this is a quick mention. This went on pre-order like weeks ago even. AmiAmi just bumped it up the front page, maybe because they still have a lot of pre-order slots left. So I won't go through it again. This figure by Skill. And then the next one here, this is from Rocket Boy. It is not in the adult section. It is on the homepage, maybe because the figure looks safe at least on the surface. But this being a Rocket Boy figure, she is going to be customable. Okay, so B Doshi original illustration delivery Bunny Girl Aoi 1/6 skill 28k October release. I like it. Delivery Girl. If you want ecchi figures but you have little sisters, you have little brothers, or you have a very nosy family member at home, then you can look into something like this, which appears harmless on the surface, but in your box, under your bed, yeah, all the important parts are there for you to enjoy in private. Okay, this is good. I like it. Like, medium is premium, not too big, not too small, the chest part. Alright, moving up next. Okay, the last 5 figures on AmiAmi are from the adult category. The first one here, we have DFC, Delicious Flat Jazz, Chloe illustrated by Tamano Kedama. Again, money printer. These artist characters, right? They are going to sell like hotcakes. So if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, but you want one, pre-order it. Even though this is from a brand that you may have never heard of. The brand name is Unbound. I also have never heard of it. 26k, 1/6 skill, customable. Smash that pre-order button. Yeah. Are there bad edgy figure brands from Japan? Except Insight, of course. Outright being bad or terrible, I would say none, but average to below average, we have Q6, A+, what else? Kaitendo. Yeah, Kaitendo is like, they are already scratching the bottom of the barrel. They are just slightly better than Insight. At least their figures turn out with a decent face and sculpt, but other than these few notable brands, right, every other ecchi brands, I don't think any of them make bad figures. So the reason why ecchi brands, they cannot afford to make bad figures is because at least they need to get the face part done right. Once they screw up the face, it is game over. The whole point of buying original characters as a figure is because you like the character design, where the face is important. You screw that part up, game over, that figure is going to be, nobody's going to buy it. And you get mass cancellations even. Happened before to some brands? Yeah. So usually ecchi figure brands, they are quite a bit more consistent than many other mainstream anime figure brands. That's the thing. Moving up next. This is Kurehito Misaki original character Mishitsu Shoujo. I feel I've seen this character before. Like, did some other brand do a similar character? A figure of a similar character in the past? I'm not sure, but this is very familiar. I like it so much, but guess what? Yeah, no money. 1/6 skill by native. 33,000 yen. Ouch! Now 33k would make me hesitate quite a bit over here. It is not like there are no ecchi figures that are around 25,000 yen that are not as good as this one, if not better. February 2026 release. So I love undressing JKs, so this is right up my alley, but 33,000 yen is ouch. That would make me think twice even. Up next, we have Taimanin RPGX again. Man, I love their figures, but I haven't been able to get my hands on one. This is from Pure. Great brand. Kotetsu no Majo Enrose, or is it Enerose? Anyways, Vajra, 1/6 scale, 29k almost. The official price is 32,000 yen. Wow. For figures by Pure, it will be available in HLJ maybe in a week's time, but with AmiAmi's generous discount over here, this is probably going to end up being the cheaper option. Yeah, if you want to pre-order this one, I like this a lot. This is nice. Oh, those shiny leather bodysuits are my kind of thing. Next one here, we have Elf Maid San no Gohoshi Rosetta 1/6 skill by Hako Musume. This thing is customable from the adult section, which is so weird because that Rocket Boy figure earlier is on the front page. Maybe they left out by accident. But this one is in the adult section. 25,450 yen. December release. I think this is a pair, right? With another maid figure that went on pre-order a few weeks ago by the same company. I think they are meant to be a pair. Yeah. And the last one here on AmiAmi. Kakao original character Succubus Alisa 1/7 skill by Unbound as well. 22,000 yen. April 2026 release. Okay, this one is fine. She is nice, but my favorite among these 5 would be, yeah, the DFC, Tamano Kedama, and the Taimanin RPGX. See, I like it big, I like it flat. My tastes are quite diverse actually. Okay, and our last stop for genuine figures is an Indian game. We go through a list of figures that I can't show much other than the face, but at least you know that these new figures went on pre-order this past week, so you can look for them yourself if you're interested. So their figures are very fragile, once again, in case you're unaware of, and sometimes they look like bootlegs, so pre-order them at your own risk. The first one here, 3rd year class A medical checkup Hanamori Juri, 1/6, 22,000 yen, and 1/4, 35,000 yen. Man, the prices keep going up, man. It was 22,000 and 33,000 yen, now 35,000 yen. Even the prices are slowly going up. The next one here, wow, the Sacred Serpent of Erotic Aroma, Zarguna, 1/6 skill, Giant Opie, not my thing. 22k for 1/6 and 35k for 1/4. Okay, so 1/6 remains at 22,000 yen. The 1/4 went up by 10% or so in price. The next one here, we have Tokita Koyori, 1/6 skill, 22k and 35k as usual for the 1/4. And the last one here, this is a pretty boy. Bishonen, right? Sweet Lolita Guri Kun, 1/6 skill, 22k and 35k, yep, big giant cannon down there if that is your thing. So that is all for the genuine figures section. Now let's move on to the disaster of a week for third parties, which is look at the number of tabs on top. Oh, you can't see it because I cropped in my screen. Anyways, there are at least 25 or 30 figures here. Yeah, at least 30 tabs open over here. So with this channel's affiliate partner for third parties, OSGK. So if you feel like supporting this channel in any way you can, just make use of my links in the description below to enter HLJ or OSGK. Is if you are planning to buy or pre-order anything, then that is how you support this channel. Yeah. So starting off with Anya's as usual, only 3 this week fortunately. We have FGO Studio Anya cosplaying as Chang'e. Okay, Chang'e is like Chinese mythology. This princess that lives on the surface of the moon, something like that. Yeah. $131. No release date yet. Let's have a closer look. Okay, I can't say this is very unique. Maybe just not to my taste. I'm not really into mythology stuff in general, especially the Chinese ones. But the price is reasonable considering the base you're getting. The next Anya figure here, Anya eating watermelon, so random, $79. September 2025 release. Man, I would rather spend my money on price figures than getting these, man. Like, we have a lot of choices for Anyas as well when it comes to price figures, and they are so cheap. The only reason why I would want an Anya third party is the crossovers, right, that we have seen over the many weeks in the past. Yeah. Such as this, a crossover. So this is Huanzhuangshi Studio and Wu Yu Studio. Anya wearing a Pikachu suit over there. So this is 1x2 scale at $169 or 1x3 scale at $132. Let's have a look at the dimensions. 55 and 39 cm. Wow. 55 is like 1x3 scale doll or figures. For $169, that is cheap. But you know what? Just a giant resin statue that is hollow in the center. Yeah, that's why it is so cheap. I wouldn't bother with this, to be honest. Okay, moving up next. Hera Studio has like 5 or 6 figures on pre-order this week. But this is the chibi figure section. I grouped them together with the Anyas earlier. Hera Studio chibi series, Reze from Chainsaw Man, $93. July release. Well, the face is cute, but yeah, this is for those of you who like Chainsaw Man. This is a bit like fixed pose Nendoroid, but they are way bigger, right? Nendoroids are 10 centimeters in size. This thing is 18 cm, very big for a giant head figure. The next one here, Hera Studio as well, Asuka from Evangelion. July release, $93. Seems like they are going for niches that other brands are not doing. Like those other brands, if they do chibi figures, they do Genshin stuff or Anyas. Yeah, Hera Studio is doing 1x4 scales or chibi figures. Interesting. Asuka, I'm always a scale figure guy, so I won't buy stuff like this. Okay, up next here, we have Hot Girl Studio. Nami from One Piece, $150 at 1x6 scale. And 1x8 scale would be... what's the price over here? The page is not loading. Even though I have internet connection. Should be $100 or so, I think, if I remembered correctly. But guess what? I think this figure over here is just okay. There are better Nami figures out there. So just look around, browse around, and look and choose whatever you prefer. There are several color versions over here, and what is up with the white color hair? Like, it's actually like Boa Hancock, her hair changes color or something. Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, if you watch One Piece. Thousands of episodes, I won't watch it. I won't. Moving up next. Now, this is way nicer. From Yushing Studio, Nami as well. Starting from $131, and there is a DLC you can buy for $169. So the DLC over here, extra upper body. I wonder if it is castable. Yeah. Anyways, this is by Yushing Studio and EQ Studio. Price is very reasonable. No release date yet. The next one here we have Robin from One Piece as well by Bright Studio. $163. 1/7 scale. September 2025 release. The one problem I've noted with One Piece figures, right, from so many brands, the scales are so inconsistent. It is all over the place. We have 1/8, 1/7, 1/6, 1/4 and everything in between. Yeah. I'm a bit OCD in this regard, you know. Until today, I'm still complaining about FGO figures mismatching in scale, especially with the ones by Alter. The male characters are 1/8, the females are 1/7. But guess what? I'm complaining just because I can, because I won't buy the male characters anyway. Yeah. So it is unlikely to affect me. Okay, moving up next. This is an expensive Boa Hancock by Monkey D Studio. $707 at 1/6 scale. The price and the release date is December again. Bro. You see, I like Boa Hancock. Perhaps my top two favorite character designs in One Piece. But guess what? This is getting a tad bit too messy. Like this serpent over here. It is stealing attention away from the main subject, the main character Boa Hancock in the middle. It looks messy, like Boa Hancock is lost somewhere amidst this mess over here. I had to look harder to see where she is right there in the middle. And it is not like the face is very nice either, you know. So I can't say I can recommend this one, even though it looks kinda epic. I don't think I can recommend this one, yeah. And the good news with Boa Hancock is that there is an endless amount of figures of her you can choose from the third parties. Moving up next, another Boa Hancock by NG Studio. $195 at 1/7 scale. No release date yet. This one is... It is okay for sure. Like, no comments, man. I don't know what else to say. Okay, moving up next, we have another messy looking figure where the main character is lost somewhere, just like that Boa Hancock earlier. This is Shiratori Aira from Dandadan by SakuraCore Studio. $309 at... Okay, no scale mentioned, but it appears to be close to 1/6 scale. December release. I need to enlarge the picture to be able to spot her face right there, you see? I don't know why third-party figure brands like to do stuff like this. It is messy, it is unnecessary, and it feels like, how do I put it? How do I even describe it, man? It is like you're buying a very fancy piece of LED light or a night lamp for you to go to sleep, but blue color light will inhibit your sleep instead. Anyways, yeah, this is over the top for sure. This is way over the top. It is very cluttered. Okay, moving up next, we have Detective Conan Gothic Black Dress Ai Haibara by YYDS Studio. $107. December release again. I don't know why Ai Haibara is the only character getting figures nowadays. What? Anita Haley? What? Is this one of those situations where the same character have different names depending on whether it's Japan version or US version? This is a thing with Street Fighter, you know. What was the name again? Was it Vega, Belrock, and Bison? Their names are interchanged, right? Depending on whether you're looking at Japanese or US version. Anita Haley must be the US version name, I think. Yeah. Same thing with Digimon. Yeah, the names are different between Japanese and US version. Up next, we have BQ Studio Evangelion Asuka and Rei. So, 182 for a set is really cheap though. Each, $97. Okay, I want to have a closer look at the face. Okay, Asuka's face is off. Game over. Nope, can't recommend this one. Asuka's face, is it the eye alignment or something? No, not the alignment. The alignment is fine, but probably a problem with viewing angle if we rotate the figure a bit to the left, then both figures will look better. Yeah, from this angle, both Rei and Asuka look a bit funny. I wish I can zoom a bit more in. Yeah, from this angle, a bit better. You need to rotate the figure. A matter of viewing angle, but everywhere else, the bodysuit is nice. I would say that if you are on a budget, then this is worth looking into, but far from the best Evangelion figure for sure. Up next, okay, this Asuka figure over here, there are multiple different versions, including one that is near Hadaka with closed eyes. But this thing looks amazing, and when I saw Hyperspace Studio, I was like, not surprised, right? So Hyperspace Studio, they had a few Genshin figures, which made them famous. That was 2 years ago by now. And I haven't seen their name in a while. Maybe they got caught in the mess, right? Involving the police over in China, trying to, clamp down on edgy figures. Yeah, they went silent for a while. Now they are back. So this one is available in red, white color, and also the near Hadaka one can go up to $278. I would say that pick your favorite. You don't have to buy everything, right? And funny part is there is a Pro version and a DX version. DX version, let's have a look. I mean, I can't click on the pictures, man. Extra work for me to censor it. Yeah, but the face on this Asuka is very nice for sure. Okay, moving up next, we have Rei from Evangelion again, SakuraCore Studio. There are 2 versions over here, slightly different outfit. Or you can get both for $350, which I would say choose only one, right? Choose the one you like most. $213 with this school uniform version. And B version where she is in bandages. I think this bandage over here fits the wings, the angel wings a lot more. Yeah. So this would be the version I go for between the two. Very photogenic, man. I can see myself putting this on a tree branch or something and then bring it to a beach to photograph it. But guess what? Bringing a resin figure outdoors is a very risky thing to do, I mean. Okay, progress is good over here. I'm 54 minutes in recording. And we are 1/3 of the way through for third parties. I'm trying to keep the video, avoid it from being too long, which is why I'm speaking so fast and I end up mispronouncing some words. So coming from you, Jai Wenxing Studio over here, Sister Petronial. Was it Vibrasta? I think Vibrasta, right, had a 1/6 scale figure of her, which sold out upon release. And if you find one today, 40,000 yen and up, yeah. That thing, 1/6 scale, yeah. I can't remember if it was Vibrasta or some other brand, but yeah, it was an edgy figure, very popular, and they nailed the face, man. So with this one over here, I'm not sure what is up because it is really weird for a third-party 1/3 scale doll maker in a way to choose to make an original art character. It is very unusual, right? This is the first time I've seen something like this. Imagine a third-party 1/3 scale doll brand choosing to do a figure of something from Tamano Kedama or even from any of the famous artists or popular ones you can think of currently. It is very unusual, yeah. So to see them doing Petronial, I'm a bit surprised. So this one you can get it with single head version at $350 or so. Double head version, another head sculpt for $425. That is an Ahegao face. Yeah. So Yujai Wenxing Studio is known for this already. They take the same body, a very similar body, they swap out the heads. New figure. Very smart business strategy in a way. Up next, we have one of the best 1/4 scales this week because of the price. Detail level is somewhat mid, right? Because Tatsumaki is not a very detailed character in terms of her outfit, but this 1/4 scale can be had for only $276, and this is from Hera Studio, a studio that I've told you guys to keep an eye on because they are doing great stuff. Yeah, this is one of the third parties to keep an eye on. So as you can see, detail level is mid, but pose and everything very stylish. I love it. And 1x4 scale, we don't have any 1x4s of her out there by genuine brands. So this is worth looking into if you're interested in her. December release, unfortunately. Up next, we have a few 1x4 scale licensed resin figures here. The first one here is PJ Studio, Emerfort and Lowell Argol Hua Shou. Yeah, an artist collab. 1x4 scale, $585 US, March 2026 release. This is beautiful, man. Woo! Gothic Lolista style dress but white color. This is beautiful, man. Not my kind of thing, realistic faces, but I can certainly appreciate how nicely executed this thing is. I mean, if you were to hand me one of these and ask me to review it, yeah, I would. I definitely would. Ooh. Nobody eats ice cream like this, right? You eat it from the top, not from the bottom. Yeah, ice cream drips from the bottom. It really sucks, I know. Moving on to the next one here. Wow. This is going to be available on HLJ in a week or two as usual. So we have Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners by Prime 1 Studio. This is the Real Elite Masterline series, which is like their highest end products line, very expensive. Standard version is starting from around $1,000 and up to the deluxe bonus version, yeah, $1,200. Can buy a brand new camera, can buy a 3D printer with that. Yeah, you know, when the figures, the numbers go into 4 digits in US dollars, then I start comparing it with stuff like smartphones or gadgets, computer parts in general. Yeah, that is the way my brains work. So will I spend this kind of money on a statue? Yeah, in future when I get richer, maybe a maximum of 1 to 3 figures, like 3 is the maximum. I can't afford to have this many, not because of the money part, but because of the space part. So this Rebecca figure is among the best Rebecca figures I've seen, period. This thing is incredible, but she comes at the price. Some of you will complain, all of these things beneath her is unnecessary. It makes her more expensive than she actually is, which I get that complaint. And I wish that, you know, they offer a cheaper version with just the figure alone and a simpler base, maybe a rock base, a flatter base, without all of these things over here, and maybe sell it for $600, $700. Yeah, I wish that they offer that. But instead, the way Prime 1 Studio works, regardless of whether you get the standard or the deluxe version, you get the whole thing over here, but the difference that $200 over there makes is that you get extra accessories like extra head sculpt, extra face plates and so on, stuff like that. So that's the thing with Prime 1 Studio. I wish that they did things a bit differently. Moving up next, we have one of the worst 1x4 scale figures by a licensed brand. I'm not even being kind. I'm not even sugarcoating anymore. Yeah, if it looks terrible, I will say it out loud. So this is from Feng Huang Studio, Feng Jiu Phoenix Maiden version A. Presumably their own original character, 1x4 scale, $335. March 2026 release. So the problem over here is that I feel like I'm looking at a budget Chinese PVC figure or even a pop-up grade figure that has been upsized to 1x4 scale and made in resin. Like the detail level, I mean, you guys have seen my previous videos, right? 1x4 scale resin statues sometimes have all this fine texture on the outfit, on the clothes. It looks like real leather, looks like real jeans and so on. This thing is smooth all the way, no details on the dress. And then the next problem is the face, which looks a bit derpy in a way. I'm not sure what is wrong with the face. And the third thing would be the hair, lacking any real shading other than the ponytail at the back. There's a bit of it. Like, I feel like I'm looking at a low budget figure, but it is a 1x4 resin that cost over $300. It is not worth it at all. Yeah, save that money and buy yourself an edgy lolly figure or something. Up next here, this is for those of you MILF lovers, Sugar Blade Studio Shackles 1x5 limited edition statue by I believe this is rebranded from some other brand in the past, right? I can't even recall the name. So there was this Chinese brand in the past. They are like MILF experts in a way. All of their figures look like this. Look like a very matured married woman of some kind, giant Oppai, giant Oshiri. And then they are all roughly around 1/6 to 1/4 scale territory. Yes, Lawang Nieme Studio. I just remembered it. So this figure, the moment I saw it, it reminded me of Lawang Nieme Studio. And if you told me that is related to Lawang Studio, this Sugar Blade Studio over here, or a rebranded one, I wouldn't be surprised at all. It is like their DNA. You know, when I look at the figure, similar to when you look at an artwork and then you immediately recognize who the artist is, even though there is no watermark, because there is a very specific trademark style with the art over there. Same thing over here. I look at the figure, it reminds me of a specific brand, which I haven't seen their name appear in many months, if not the past 1 year. So this could be Lawang Studio rebranded for all we know, but guess what? If you like it, this is only $234, and no, this is not customable. This is like a concept art statue of some kind. Either you like it or you don't. Yeah. So moving on to the next one. Here we have 8th Days Studio. Legend of Zelda 2 Princess Zelda, $213. Oh, there are two versions here. Version A, $213, and version B, same price. What's the difference, man? Let me zoom in. Okay, the pose is different. Alright. I would take version B. Yeah, I think the sword being diagonal would look a lot nicer than holding it horizontal like this. I mean, from an aesthetic point of view. Version B is nicer, but version A is probably how you offer a sword to a king or something, right? That is how you hold it horizontally, but I like the version B a bit more over here. No release. Okay, December release again. I thought no release date. Moving up next, we have SW Toys Ninja Gaide 1/6 scale Ninja Momiji action figure, $160, December release. This is like one of those accessory figures that you display next to your 1/6 scale Hot Toys action figures. Yeah, your Iron Mans, your Captain Americas, and so on. Right? We display next to them, they blend in really nicely. Looks like an original character to me, and $160 is reasonable. Seamless action figure, I love them. Just that I'm afraid that, you know, the polyurethane skin, the rubbery skin on the surface, it might crack or tear over time. That is my main concern. Moving on to the next one here, we have Playtoy Studio Jewelry from Street Fighter, $215 at 1/6 scale, March 2026 release. So let's inspect the face. Last week we had one from TGZW Studio, right? That one was really nice. I liked it a lot. This one is okay. Not as detailed, but that one was a 1/4. This is a 1/6 scale. This is like her default pose, right? When the character was first introduced in Street Fighter 4. This is okay. Right, and Playtoy Studio, I think they have been around for a while. The name looks or feels familiar. Okay, moving up next, we have this figure of Tifa, Catgirl from Final Fantasy. Neko Nest Studio, $147, December release. No scale mentioned, but the dimensions given very close to 1/6 scale. What are your opinions on this? I think it is okay, right? It is different from the Tifa we know, for sure. But it is like a different art style in a way, and I don't necessarily hate it. Yeah, detail is on the low side. I wish that there is more shading on the hair. I always complain about shading on the hair of third-party resin figures. They need to do more in that regard. Up next here from Hot Cat Studio, 1/6 scale, Devilman Siren. Okay, this is a licensed statue at 1/6 scale, $544 US. September 2026 release. You know, the sculpting on the body, unfortunately, I had to cover her up, even though this is supposed to be an artistic sculpture. But YouTube has a problem with it. But you just have to look at the way her skin folds on the side over here. Amazingly sculpted, even though this is not my kind of figure. Yeah, I can appreciate the detail over here. And you need to check out the weathering paintwork on her wings, on her feathers as well. It is quite exceptional. And being a licensed figure, I think this would turn out pretty well. Yeah. Moving up next. Okay, the next 2 or 3 figures, they have not showed up in any Japanese websites yet. But from the looks of it, they are licensed PVC figures, not resin, PVC. So this could be new brands coming out from China that sell low cost or mid-tier cost PVC figures, but we will see. So far, nothing yet from the Japanese side. The first one here is from In Focus, Dorothy 1/6 scale. No, nothing to do with Nikke. Original character, February release, $101. PVC figure, man. Yeah. So $101, that would be like 16,000 yen or so. Yeah, 15,000 yen. We'll see. Character design wise, well, let's hope the wings do not break. They look really thin. The connecting parts with the hair over there. Moving up next, we have another licensed mid-tier budget. I wouldn't call this low budget, mid-tier budget. Licensed PVC figure from Trash Fish. Teresa 1/6. There is a regular and deluxe version. Deluxe version is $128. Regular version is $113. September 2026 release, coming out in 3 months, but nothing from Japanese websites. Okay. Deluxe version includes decorative backdrop board, illustration print. Oh, there is a small print, mini blanket. That is a lot of stuff for an additional $15. Okay, moving up next, we have Yoha Studio A2 from Nier Automata. There are several versions over here. Kind of artistic, I like it. So this one is a 1x4 scale starting from $492, and a set with a second version that is partially Hadaka but not exactly at the same time. $653. I'm not sure if getting both is a good idea, but what do I know? If you are a big fan of A2, you might have a different view compared to mine. Yeah. So 1x4 scale, the price is somewhat reasonable. I mean, 2 figures over here for $653. Yeah. And the face and everything else, not much complaints over here from me. Yoha Studio, they have been doing a lot of Nier Automata figures for a while. This is nothing new to them. But they are also not exactly the best, like just average, middle of the pack. Okay, moving up next, from PA Create Studio, we have Eve cosplaying as Yoha. Yeah, the Stella Blade Eve, what the heck, man. So, if you get the deluxe version, you get both figures in the pick, I assume. Version A is $365 for only 2B. Version B is this one over here. This is Eve for $416, and then version C you get both. Yep, for $458. Actually, 2 of them at 1x4 scale for $458 is very reasonable for 1x4 scale. The problem here is that wait, hold on. Okay, no, you're not getting 2 entire figures, my bad. So what you're getting with version C, which is why it is so cheap, you're getting 1 single torso and body, and then you get 2 heads, and then you get a stand, like a bust stand for the additional head, and then you display either one. I think it makes sense, man, because why would I want 2 figure, the same exact one with a different head on it? Letting people swap out and display a different head once every few months maybe makes more sense. But at the same time, I mean, I have never been a fan of different characters sharing the same body sculpt. So I'm not sure what to think about this, man. PA Create Studio, they've been doing 1x4 skills for a while. They have released quite a few stuff. I mean, you can go and find the user pictures online. You are bound to find a few. Then you can judge for yourself the quality. My next episode of which third-party resin figure brand is any good, where we go through actual production pictures. It is coming soon, I think late June or early July. I do it every quarter, yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have Senran Banka Murasame from Meow Studio, $231, December release. I'm still not sure why she is so popular. I've seen PVC figures of her, the genuine ones, and then now the third parties are jumping onto the bandwagon. I'm not sure what is going on, but I do like the character for sure. This is coming out in December 2025, Meow Studio. Let's have a closer look. Alright, this is nice. You see this texture over here on the red color surface over here? Yeah, this is the kind of thing I look for in resin figures, right? And that 1x4 scale figure earlier doesn't even have any of it. Moving up next, we have a few Sailor Moon figures here. This is Tsukino Usagi Formal Dress Princess Serenity from Circle Max Studio, $184, December release. Okay, so this figure, I'm not sure if it is a recast. In case you did not know, Circle Max Studio, sometimes they recast existing, genuine, highly limited GKs from Japan, like from OneFest, for example. But is this one of those figures? I'm not sure. Yeah. So if you care about this kind of things, then maybe do your homework. You can actually search for them in MFC. If it is a legit GK that is limited in production, they will still appear in MFC. Yeah, there will be a database for it, right? Like scale PVC figures, the boxes are green color, but for garage kits, they are purple color. So you can always check it over there. 1x7 scale, December 2025 release. You see, this is 1x7. And that scale alone is making me suspect that this is a recast, because if it is their own original character design, their own 3D modeling or whatever it is from scratch, then these third parties, they tend to prefer 1x6 scale. Not to say they don't do 1.7 or 1.8, but 1x6 scale is the most common. The fact that this is a 1x7 makes me suspect that the original mold is, a genuine GK. Because the genuine GKs from OneFest or any other Japanese events, they tend to stick with 1x7 scale. Yeah. Moving up next, we have this card Capter Sakura, Shaoran, and Sakura Encounter 2.0 by Black Hole Art Studio. Black Hole Art. No, $269, December 2025 release. Okay, so the thing of this figure is that, I can't see both of their faces at the same time. It is either one, I see Sakura's face or the guy's face because of the pose. So, not exactly a fan of it. Like, it is very photogenic. It feels very natural. It feels like something you see in real life. But if I want to enjoy looking at the figure, looking at both faces, then this is a bit hard to appreciate. Yeah. But I mean, we don't get figures like this from Capter Sakura, even by Koto or Good Smile. They haven't made anything quite like this. So if you like it, maybe consider it. Moving up next, we have Sailor Moon Eternal Series 03 Sailor Jupiter by How Cute Studio, $188. And then you get to choose between luminous version and non-luminous version. Must be the base, right? Yup. LED or no LED, of course, pick the one with LED. Even if you don't intend to turn on the LEDs, buy the one with LED. Why would you cut corners, right? And then remove the battery. Yeah, don't let it rot inside. Assuming that is even an option, of course. How Cute Studio is also a name I come across very often, which means they have a lot of figures out, and yeah, easy to figure out how good their quality is. They are middle of the pack. Once again, their figures, nothing much wrong with them, but they are not super high-end stuff in a way. Moving up next, wow, free run 1x4 scale, and this free run, right, is apparently based on an artwork by Dish. Whether it is an actual collab or not, well, none of my business really, because I'm not going to buy this even though I want it really badly. But you know what? $416 for 1/6 scale with a Freeran face that is one of the prettiest I've seen so far among any third-party brand. Man, this is tempting. The things that I saw these comments in my Facebook page, yeah, I take feedback from you guys and then I address them if there are any. There was someone saying that he does not believe that this figure will turn out exactly as promised by these pictures over here, because he has never seen any third-party figures turn out, being made, where both arms are intact. How to even describe it? Not to say both arms are intact, more like the arms are not separate parts. Normally you have an arm band, right? Then the arms are separate parts. So if this figure, apparently both arms appear to be connected. There are no separate parts, right? Because there is no arm band over here. So he said that maybe the final product will have an additional white color band over here on the arm. So these pictures over here are not telling us the full story, not promising us 100% that this is what we will get. So my take on this is that you might be onto something, but at the same time, this is a borderline Hadaka figure. So it is not impossible to make the whole thing, the whole body in one whole bulk, right? Not impossible. Of course, the white color parts on the chest and everywhere else, they have to be separate, I think. But I would say not impossible. Yeah. So I wouldn't judge too early. That's what I think over here. Sure, figures without with the arms not separated is very rare, but I wouldn't say it is not possible. So this one, should you get it? Cast Design Studio. You see, I want to comment on the brand. Is it good? Is it bad? Can I recommend on it? I can't say much because I don't know enough, right? There are too many third-party brands. Like, there are at least 4 or 5 times as many third-party brands compared to the genuine ones. Seriously, at least 5 times as many. But that face makes me want it so bad, that's for sure. And I'm not even a big fan of the anime. Moving up next, we have 3 Marin Kitagawa figures. The first one is by Hera Studio, 1/4 scale, $276. And this is all you get. You can't cast off or anything like that. But this one, you know, I don't know why, but this is not as good looking as many of other Hera Studios 1/4 scale figures. Like, the shape of her head or her face is a bit off. It looks a bit flattened. Like, front to back, it looks flattened a bit. I'm not sure why, but maybe it is the viewing angle once again. Or rather, her face is too flat. Like someone just smashed her face with a frying pan. Something like that, you know? It still looks like Marin Kitagawa, but it feels like something is off at the same time. Funny is that, you know, the price figure brands like Taito have no problems getting her face done right, but many third parties couldn't get Marin's face right for some reason. So this is good value at $276, but Marin Kitagawa by today in 2025, so many figures of her. Feel free to skip this one. Yeah. Moving on to the next Marin figure here. Okay, so there are 2 versions over here. You can get them for $131 each. They are by BQ Studio, normal Marin Kitagawa, and the one where she's cosplaying, the least cosplay version. Once again, the one on the right, the face looks nice, but the one on the left, does she look like Marin Kitagawa? Big yes, but it still looks a bit, no, I don't know what it is. Yeah. I think Marin is the kind of character where when you get the proportions slightly off, even just slightly, be it the shape of the face or the hair, you know, the height, the depth or something like that, then it starts looking a bit funny. So this one is also a bit off, but no one's mistaking her for other characters, that's for sure. And she's cheap, $130 each, right? Okay, moving up next, 80 minutes in, wow. This is another Marin Kitagawa figure that is, okay, from Strange Thief Studio. And why give us a pose like this when we can't cast it off? This is like blue balling a guy who is ready to get into bed with you. yeah, I mean, what is up with coming up with posters like this if I can't cast off the figure? Like, $167 is not exactly cheap. And this kind of pose is not exactly uncommon either. So many figures out there has a pose like this. So I can't say I can recommend this one. And move on to the next figure here. Now we have something, wow. So Studio is actually Ume Studio. Yep, Ume Studio, the DT Studio, the one we used to see a lot in the past. It is the same brand. They rebranded because they used to do 18 plus figures. Now they can no longer do that. So they are now known as Studio. This is Lancer L2 from FGO. So this thing is majestic AF. So yeah, this is the full version, $666. Hot damn! The only problem over here is that there is no anime face version, but I wouldn't expect Ume Studio to do that because they have never even done that even once. They have never ever done that. Yes, all of their figures so far, they're all like realistic style, their own take on any anime or game character can think of. They do it realistic. Now this thing is, despite the sheer amount of details going on and that very reasonable $666 for this full armor version with the horse, 1x4 skill by the way, nah, won't be buying it. But for those who do, you are going to be happy. Ume Studio is a really good studio for among the third parties. Ume Studio is pretty good. They have a long track history by now, a long track record. Okay, up next we have one single Nikke figure here, Anise from Qianben Ying. Okay, whatever. From this studio over here, $147, 1x6 scale, December 2025 release. Is this customable? Because if it is not, I would tell you to forget about it. Okay, I've just taken a look at the pictures below. Nope, this is not customable. If it is not, get the one by Good Smile Company, still on pre-order, right? I think Good Smile Arts Shanghai. Yeah, there is an Anise 1x7 scale. This is 1/6, a bit bigger, but I would say get the PVC figure. Okay, the face over here, some people complained about it, but in my opinion, I think her face looks fine. I actually like it. But I would always lean towards PVC first because they are less fragile. Moving up next, from Wuthering Waves, two figures of Karatetia. The first one here is by Atelier Studio, 1x4 scale, $344. November 2025 release. That is very specific. So let's have a closer look at the face over here. Oh, now that is nice. At the same time, it looks a little bit like a generic L figure, but I'm not complaining because she looks really nice over here. Oh, $344 for this is okay, not too bad. And are we getting LEDs in the base? We better get some over here. It looks like it is glowing over here. Okay, moving up next. Now, this one is something you will want to smash that pre-order button. So this is by that Qianben Ying Gong Studio again. And no, this is not customable. It is just trying to blue ball you once again. She makes you wet, but without undressing. This Karatetia over here is $168. So unlike that Anise figure earlier, this is the one which I can actually recommend. And the face sculpt on this is beautiful. Like, there's nothing else I can say about it. Nicely executed over here. December release, that is the bad news, because let me know how many figures to have that are releasing in December, because at this point, there has to be way too many of them. Okay, moving up next, we have Blue Archive, Succubus Rio again. She sure is really popular. We have new figures of her every week. Tomato Studio, $169, December release. There are not many figures of her that I like actually. There is one where she is kneeling down, not kneeling down exactly, more like she is bending down, reaching for her shoes or something, and then you get to see her backside from behind. That is still the best version of a figure, I think, but you know what? Bootlegs of Succubus Rio are starting to appear on Taobao already. This bootleggers are bootlegging their own Chinese brand resin figures, which is interesting. Yeah, a lot of bootleg Blue Archive figures in Chinese website, including AliExpress, and those figures I've never seen them before because they are not from genuine PVC figure brands from Japan. They are actually third-party resins which were bootlegged. So this Rio over here, I think she is okay. As for her face over here, I think it looks fine, but I have at least 2 or 3 other better figures of her in mind. How do you find them? Easy. Just go to OSGK and search for Sukatsuki Rio and all of the figures will appear. Simple. Okay, moving up next, we have another Rio figure by SakuraCore Studio. Now, this one I can't recommend because this looks like a prize figure. Like, the face is already off, and the main selling point of this Rio figure over here is that she is castable both on top and behind. But despite this feature, I can't say I recommend it unless you're really dry. Yeah, I feel like I'm looking at the price figure over here, to be honest. $166 is not cheap, right? So this is coming out in August 2025 very soon. See, they are rushing this thing out because they know people will buy it. 1/6 scale. The next one here, wow. Astro Spirit Studio, Ichinose, Asuna, and Kakudate Karin. I don't know why OSGK always gets the name of Asuna wrong. Or they are just copying it from the manufacturer, the studio. Who named her that way, I'm not sure. Okay, so you can get each. Okay, no price yet. Don't bother. Up to $382, but that is a deposit from the looks of it. I'm not too sure, but I see the word TBD over here, which means the price over here is not final. No point discussing it. Now, this is for those of you who want both of these characters with as little clothes as possible and with melons as big as possible. I don't like it, to be honest. Yeah, their faces are off. Both Asuna and Karin. I mean, compare it to the ones by Max Factory. They made the best Asuna and Karin figure so far. Asuna, I meant the bunny version, which is getting a re-release, and Karin, I meant the one in the maid outfit with a huge rifle. Yeah, those two are the best Asuna and Karin figures to date. So, compared to those two, I mean, they are still recognizable. I can tell which character it is, but the face is different in a way which I don't like. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have this Hayase Yuka figure from G Studio from Blue Archive. So the standard version is $170 and the EX version is $344 because you're getting 2 entire figures. And yup, the DX version is the casted off version. More like she is partially dressed, her shirt is up, her legs are open instead of closed. So I'll leave the rest to your imagination because I can't put the picture on screen. Can I recommend it? If you're dry enough once again. I mean, we don't get many Hayase Yuka figures that are cultured nowadays, isn't it? So I'll leave it up to you. But to me, it feels pretty pricey to get 2 figures of her for $344. Like, the figure feels a tad bit too simple, to be honest. Okay, moving up next, we have Honkai Impacted School Uniform Alicia from New Age Studio. What the heck? What is it in Indonesian rupees? Let me convert it. I believe this is quite cheap. Okay, this is, okay, no release date yet. For $148 US. I can't even zoom in because the picture is small. Okay, this is good enough. Alright, the face is great. For hardcore fans of Alicia, like, this is kind of a low risk purchase in a way, where the figure brand is unlikely to screw up the face because the figure is so simple. But even if they did, I guess you only lost $148, not $300 or $400, which is still a lot of money. But you know what, Alicia, there are so many skills of her from Apex Toys already. What else do you need? Moving up next, we have a few Firefly figures. She's making a comeback somehow. The first one here is by Bast Studio, $175 at 1/6 scale, June 2026 release. The thing is that these next few Firefly figures over here, they are all fan service stuff. I still prefer the ones made by other studios like Imagination Studio or Feng Hua Studio, I think. Yeah, the ones that came with Sam in the background, those were amazing. These are all fan service stuff without being customable. The next one here, this is the worst among the three. Mint Studio, standard version, available in 1.6 and 1.4, and there is a deluxe version where you can cast it off. Why is it always the customable figures that are terrible? It is like they knew that the figure wouldn't sell without the edgy parts, so they need to make the edgy parts for it, because otherwise, man, her face is way too red. It is like she got sunburned or something, don't you think? The skin is way too reddish, way too pinkish, way too much. You know, third-party figures used to be really common in the past, but nowadays, yeah, sales weren't as good as just a year or two ago, because now the gooners are not getting the edgy figures that they used to get, unfortunately. Okay, the third one here is by StarCute Studio Firefly, $293 and 1/6 scale. No release date yet, and you know what? The face sculpt over here on the anime version looks really nice. I like this a lot. In fact, I think this is my favorite among the three very easily. But at the same time, they gave me a really horrendous realistic face. It feels like looking at an adult version, which is one thing. The next thing is that even for an adult version, this looks nothing like the Firefly I know. Maybe $50 of that $293 you are paying over there is for the second head sculpt, which you may not necessarily want, which is the sad part. Moving up next, we have Robin, right? Dirty Pockets and the Talent Studio. Yup, Robin from Honkai Star Rail. Standard version, deluxe version, and mega set. Okay, starting from $179. Deluxe version. Why are the pictures looking the same? Apparently, this is 18 plus. Is this customable? Nope. Deluxe version includes a mirror display panel. No. This is not customable. Yeah, I remembered she wasn't. So a closer look. Can't zoom in again. Alright, she looks nice actually. She looks great. I would say the price is very reasonable if you get one single figure like this. I mean, then it is $179, very reasonable. The next one here, the last two figures of the day are from Azur, but they are also among the best third-party figures this week. So this is from FWS Studio, Musashi and Shinano. They look smoking hot. They are easily the best third parties this week. They are also customable, but only that they don't have any price yet. I don't think they will be cheap, but the bad news once again is they are slated for December release. So I had to cover up the figure as usual, but please do check this one out. This is beautifully sculpted. Man, I also want it even though I'm not exactly a big Azur collector. And then the last one here is Noshiro, also one of the few Azur characters that I really like. Dancer version from Tistles and Thorn Studio, another third-party brand that I can recommend. Like, they are actually okay. $230 and 1/6 scale, June 2026 release. Okay, this is very nice for sure. So, this is the kind of third-party figure that I would get. The same thing with the one earlier from FWS Studio. So you see, it is like they don't necessarily need to do 18 plus parts or cultured parts in order to sell something. They just need to give us something unique in a way, I suppose. Now this is kind of unique, belly dancer version, and the laundry version earlier, Musashi and what was the name again? That was amazing as well. As long as the sculpt is beautiful, people will buy it, right? So the main takeaway with third parties this week is that you see the customable figures that I covered earlier, there are like 4 or 5 of them. They look bad. It is like they are relying on the gimmick of being able to cast off the figures to sell it. I wish that they put in more effort to make the figures look good in the first place. Yeah, So that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. And once again, if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to this channel, help this channel grow. And that is how you support me as a content creator, as a figure reviewer as well. Until then, I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching and goodbye.